Yo, what's good, guys? So this is gonna be a lengthy video, so if you want to skip to the very end where I just pretty much summarize everything that I'm doing, everything that I'm about to say, then I'll put the time code in like the description or something that we can just skip there. But I'm gonna go into some storytelling and some of the things that I've been dealing with since I've been in Los Angeles, since I've moved to Los Angeles. So I want to tell that story because it's some of the few things that I've learned since I've been out here. So I wanted to share that with you guys if you're starting a business or whatever it is. I don't know. I think this is applicable to a lot of things, but in my case, it's more like business, photography, like art thing. But it's applicable. It's applicable, bro. So all right, okay. Let's get into this. Okay. I was riding on the board looking for a spot to film. So this is today's set, guys. Look at it. Nice, right? Nice. I was at a Starbucks down the street. Starbucks, bro? Do a video at Starbucks with all them people? Nah, that's wild. I was like, all right, I need to find a spot so that I can make this video. Goodness, I'm gonna fall and bust my butt, and my hair is crazy because, well, this is a cool spot because it's secluded, and if people walk by, they're just gonna see some weird guy talking into a camera, and they're gonna be like, oh my gosh, just whatever. Okay, so a few days ago, I made a LinkedIn article because, well, Gary Vee. I was really inclined to like actually type something out instead of making a video. I don't know why. I'm not a really good writer. I made a video. I wrote like a little article, and now I wanted to actually make a video on it because I think it's really important for me to share some of the things that I've been going through since I've moved to LA. More importantly, some of the lessons that I've learned since becoming an independent. Oh shit, see what I mean, bro? So, like I was saying, I wanted to talk about some of the things that I've been going through since I moved to LA, and more importantly, the lessons that I've learned since being an independent contractor. And I want to talk about the power of no, as in N-O, the word no, like rejection. When I first got here, for 2 months straight, every day I would apply to all these industry jobs on LinkedIn, on Craigslist, on ZipRecruiter, on Entertainment Careers, like all these film jobs. I did all these free trials, and I paid like a monthly subscriptions for a few, and I just applied to all these jobs, right, in hopes that like I would land one, you feel me? And I figured, 2 years of experience was enough for like an entry-level job. And the cool thing about like a creative industry is the fact that if you don't know something, it's really easy to figure out how to do it. You just go to Google and you figure out how to do it. That's pretty much how I've learned how to do everything that I know, is Googling. So I figured 2 years of experience and the ability to learn quickly, I would be able to land at least one job in the industry, as a photographer, as a editor, as a video person, camera, filmmaker, whatever. I was like, I'm gonna shoot for everything and hope that something lands. So 2 months of that, and nothing happened. And in those 2 months, I was doing a few gigs, right? Nothing crazy, just a few gigs here and there that would come up, because I was adamant about getting a job. I wanted a job, I wanted the security, I wanted the steady income. So I just applied, but nothing happened. And I realized that 2 months is not a long time, but I'm in Los Angeles by myself with no connections, no source of income, in one of the most expensive cities in the world. So I needed money. And then I decided to go in like freelance mode, independent contractor, just straight up like going after clients. If a company isn't gonna hire me, then honestly, like, I get it, I'm not experienced enough, but I was upset because I was getting rejected all the time. I was getting no callbacks. I was getting emails that they had selected other candidates, and there was like this rage. I was upset, right? So I wanted to prove to these companies that they were making a mistake, even though they might never actually like find out, I guess. I wanted to prove that I was good enough, because after so much rejection, I felt like I wasn't good enough. I felt like the world didn't value me, and it was sort of like a reality check, because even though I never went to college, I straight up went into the real world. But since I was living with my parents, it was protected. Does that make sense? And for the first time, I felt alone and abandoned, and I was like, damn, like nobody really gives a crap. That was like one of the first lessons that I learned when it comes to the word no. It's like, when you're rejected, you can either crumble, like I could have gone back home, I could have just called it quits, or you could use that and like turn it into something positive, which I'm trying to do, and that is to build a company, right? That was lesson number one, man. That was the power of the word no, is the fact that despite being rejected all the time, despite like, you know, getting emails that other candidates had gotten the job, and that feeling of not feeling good enough, all that like really pushed me to just go out and try to build something of my own around something that I'm passionate about, right? So I was like, let's get it. And then that led me into the second lesson. This is an article which I will link below, but this led me to the second lesson of the power of no. See, once you go into the freelance world, once you go into independent contractor mode, once you go into building a business mode, you're gonna get rejected, right? But it's a different type of rejection, because you're already used to it, right? So you just keep going, and you know something's gonna stick, right? I knew that if I kept going and applying a job, something would have stuck. But at the end of the day, money needed to be made and bills needed to be paid. So that's why I went the business route, not the job route. I just figured the more people I reach out to, someone will say yes, someone will hit me up to make a video, someone will pay me to do work. And lo and behold, it happened. Someone actually said yes. Now, two things. Your value is determined by two things: by yourself and by the market, right? So if you think you're worth a certain number and the market is willing to pay for that number, then you are worth that number, right? If you think you're worth a certain number but you're not getting any clients because nobody's paying that, then you're really not worth that number, and you kind of had to reevaluate and double down, right? In my particular case, I knew what I was worth, and the market was rewarding that, right? I was getting clients to pay for certain products. That led me to understand what I was worth. But what ended up happening is that a lot of people didn't see it that way. A lot of people were constantly hitting me up, like, you know, hey, let's shoot, hey, I have this, hey, I have this. And all of this was unpaid work, and the reason it was unpaid was because at the beginning I didn't know anybody. I needed to network, I needed to meet people. So I offered my services for free, and after a while that can become taxing on you financially and mentally, because when you do free work, a lot of the times what ends up happening is you start getting more free work and more free work and more free work. Once you do free work for one person, another person will try to hit you up for free work, and you'll hit them with your rates, and they're like, oh, I thought you did it for free, I thought we were trying to collab. And it's like, nah, man. So there was a lot of that. There was a lot of no's in terms of me offering that and people saying no, but there was also a valuable lesson in doing a lot of the free work, because you have to learn how to say no. You have to learn to stand your ground. It feels weird, like when you do free work for someone and you build a rapport for someone, and you've worked a few times together for free. It feels weird telling that person that you're not going to work with them anymore, because you've already kind of established a friendship, and a friendship, partnerships, whatever you want to call it. But then all of a sudden you're telling them, hey, I'm not going to work with you unless you pay me. Obviously you don't want to say it like that, because that's kind of, you can, whatever. It's weird saying that. It's weird telling people that, hey, I'm not going to be working with you because you're not paying me. So you have to grow the courage to say no. It's such a powerful word, because then it frees up so much of your time. All of a sudden, now you're doing work that you're getting paid for, you know, when you work on something that you're doing for free and you feel like you're being undervalued, there's a certain like spark that's lost when I did my work. Is essentially what was happening. Is I was doing this work for free, but it was like, man, I'm doing this work for free. It's like, man, I'm doing this work for free type of thing. So it was taxing mentally and financially, because obviously you're spending all this time doing, you know, work, and where's the money, right? So it was literally, I was like, I need to grow some cojones and say no. And one of my favorite lines, I don't remember where I watched it, but I can't afford to right now. I can't afford to collaborate right now. So I would hit him with, hey man, like, I appreciate you. I thank you for all these opportunities, but I cannot afford to collaborate right now. It's such a powerful thing to do that, because you alleviate yourself of that burden of doing things for free, but ultimately you open up the door for, you know, potential clients, right? So a few of the clients that I was collabing with, they actually turned into paying clients, because when you know you're worth something, and when you know you're providing like value to somebody, then that person will know. And sometimes that person will abuse it as long as they can. They'll maybe not abuse it, but they'll, you know, take advantage of it for as long as they can, because, you know, like I wasn't telling them no, right? So I was like, yeah, let's keep doing it. Yeah, let's keep doing it. Obviously they're gonna be like, all right, bet, like I got it good. I'm doing this for this, and it's like, right? They got it good. Once you say no, right? Once you say no to collaborations, because now you're getting more work, now you're getting more paid work, now your time is actually worth something, then that like rejection to that person is, it's either going to be like, all right, we go separate ways, or we work every once in a while, maybe we collaborate every once in a while. But now, you know, it, like I said, it opened up the doors to a few of the people saying, you know what, it's cool, like I'll pay you, right? That is the power of no, man. No could push you to like great lengths to find success in like a different area, in a different path in life, I guess. And no can like be a peace of mind for you, right? And to me, it felt like sometimes if I would have said no to somebody, like I couldn't afford to, right? I had to say yes, I had to create. And it's one of those things, but it was just like, you have to grow the courage to like say no, and to like actually take yourself seriously, because I felt like I wasn't being taking myself seriously, and actually, you know, doing things the way that I wanted to. So I said no, and I was like, all right then, like now I said no, it's up to them, that's on them, now I can focus on this. It was sort of like that. So I know this was like all over the place, but that was just like, I want to say 2 lessons. It's either letting rejection, you know, tear you down, or you do something about it, and you actually try to, you know, move forward. It was really like they rejected me, so I'm gonna take things into my own hands and make something of myself, right? I'm not gonna depend on a hiring manager. Not gonna depend on anybody else to tell me whether or not I'm good enough. But I'm gonna take it into my own hands and do something. And the second lesson is. Second lesson is learn to say no. Learn to value your time, learn to value yourself. Do not let yourself to be undervalued or taken advantage of, but stand your ground and say no. That's something that's come in handy since I've been out here. I'm 21, man, and a lot of the people that I've been working with are a lot older than me, and it feels like they're taking advantage. And so you have to really stand your ground and stand firm in the belief that you're worth something. So that was the 2 lessons. So yeah, alright guys, so thank you guys for watching. I know this was a long video, but I think it's important for me to share some of the things that I'm going through, because it's like, why not? Every time it's like, why am I not creating enough videos? It's pretty much what I'm asking myself all the time. I'm going through so much shit right now, in good and bad ways, like, that I should be documenting. Alright, so we got some people right here in the back, which are like, they're like loud, so I gotta get close to the camera, so enjoy this close-up of my face. I've been struggling. My skin's been struggling lately, but I wanted to say thank you for watching. Oh shit. Thank you for watching, and I really appreciate it. I honestly do. If you took something from this, man, chase your sunset. Do something. You know, don't just like, oh, you know. I don't know how this is gonna affect you, but if you took something from it, apply it to your life. Chase your sunsets and do something that you love, because you got one life. And yeah, thank you. Honestly, just thank you for watching. If you did watch, I appreciate you. I really do. Like, you took time out of your day to watch a video of mine, and that's cool. So thank you. I'll catch y'all next time.